Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth came into being in 1569 in the town of Lublin. This was solidified by the marriage of Queen Jadwiga and Grand Duke Joaglia of Lithuania in 1385, and also in response to the threat of the Teutonic Order in Russia, back then called Muscovy under Ivan IV the Terrible. The Reformation did not convert the new Commonwealth, for Roman Catholicism was predominant there. It was a Commonwealth in which all religions were tolerated at the time, sealed by the Warsaw Confederation Agreement on January 28, 1573. The newly formed Commonwealth was designed specifically to fight external threats and to protect Lithuania, which had been a pagan nation for thousands of years, until Mindaugas united the nation in the 13th century, and the word Lithuania was first mentioned in 1009. Mindaugas was the only king of Lithuania and the first Catholic king of Lithuania. Before Mindaugas, Lithuania was home to a pantheon of pagan gods, numbering 38 and some being invented and chronicled by the Kievan Rus, Russia's earliest state before its conglomeration of Slavic tribes. King Mindaugas worshipped some of the pagan deities in secret after his baptism. In 1387, Lithuania officially became Catholic amidst numerous attempts to Christianize the nation beforehand. If Lithuania had remained pagan, then Poland would have remained easy prey for Muscovy, and probably the Holy Roman Empire, and the three partitions of 1772, 1793 and 1795 would not have happened, and Russia would contend with the military might of the Holy Roman Empire. Also, it was necessary for Poland and Lithuania to become one polity, and for the latter to declare the Soviet Union's annexation of that country illegal in 1991. In 1573, on May the 11th, Henry de Valois, son of Henry II of France and Catherine de' Medici, was proclaimed King of Poland. The Duke's state in East Prussia, called Ducal Prussia, vied for independence from the Commonwealth, having attained in 1648. There would be a Dusseldorf Cow War in 1651, but I will talk about that in another video. The vote was cast by the Schlachta by 40,000 nobles in a long tradition of voting, and he became king to thwart the Franco-Ottoman alliance of 1556 and that of the ruling house of Habsburg of Austria and Spain, and to promote the commerce between France and Poland, Lithuania. But Henry abandoned the Polish throne, however, and headed back to France. The throne was declared vacant, and an interregnum was proclaimed. When the Polish clergyman statesman Jakub Łuczynski proclaimed Maximilian II, Holy Roman Emperor, the King of Poland, he had been called a pietist, a derogatory term tracing back to the first dynasty that ruled Poland in the 10th century. Anna Jagiellon, a member of the Jagiellon dynasty, proclaimed herself Queen of Poland in 1575, with Stephen Bathory, Prince of Transylvania, as co-regent. With the Danzig Revolt, the Livonian War, in which Ivan the Terrible played a major role, Sigismund Valse came to the throne in 1587, despite Bathory's attempts to take it. Habsburgs under Maximilian III, threatened a new king, however, invaded the Commonwealth the same year. The Polish succession crisis ended in 1588 when Jan Zamoyski defeated Maximilian, thus solidifying Sigismund as king, but not his ambitions. Sigismund would demand his right as King of Sweden and of Russia, invading the latter in 1609. His uncle, who would later become the future King Charles IX of Sweden, initiated the Cudgel War of 1599 in Finland, and so the wars between the Commonwealth and Sweden would begin, and the Dominion Marine Despotacy would begin, as well as that of the beginnings of the Russian Empire. Although the Commonwealth won spectacular victories, such as the Battle of Klushino, which would allow the Polish to conquer Moscow and install Sigismund on the throne, they were forced back to Poland and Lithuania. Despite this, the Tsar Vasily IV of Russia was caged, and it is estimated that 5 million Russians were dead from the war with Poland and Lithuania, in addition to famine. Poland's power began to erode and weaken with the conclusion of the Polish-Swedish War of 1626-1629. albeit there was a victory against the Ottoman Empire after the Battle of Koiton, and the Turkish Sultan Osman II was murdered. The border, thus, against the Turks was secured. These events led to the Commonwealth's neutrality, to the horrors of the 30 Years' War, which led to 8 to 14 million dead. The cultural renaissance in this time emerged, and Sigismund's son Ladislaus IV modernized the army and vigorously defended the Commonwealth's eastern borders. Livonia regained from Sweden, and the relationship with France was strengthened by Mary Louis Gonzaga of the House of Mantua in central Italy in 1646. After the death of Ladislaus, Poland and Lithuania began to weaken even further, and John Casimir was not the man of the hour. Numerous Ukrainian rebellions under a group called Cossacks, although there were a total of 37 rebellions by them against the Commonwealth, rebelled against Poland and Lithuania, instigating the Khmelnytsky uprising, bloody in its nature, which also involved Ottoman Jews. Sweden sought revenge, furthermore, from the loss of the 1629 war and invaded Poland and Lithuania again. East Prussia finally gained its independence from the Commonwealth, with Swedish backing, joining the ruling Hohenzollern family in Berlin, which would prove to be a fatal blow in 1795. A national revival arguably emerged when Jan III Sobieski became king in 1674 and liberated parts of Central and Eastern Europe from the Turks, thereafter the signing of the Treaty of Karlowitz in 1699. Never again would the Ottoman Empire threaten Central Europe. When Jan III Sobieski died, given the title Ante Morale Christianitatis, or Bulwark of Christianity, the Commonwealth was facing increasing foreign encroachment and was on the brink of civil war. The corrupt Slakta was bribed, and several members of several European royal families rushed their candidates in for the throne. In the end, it was Frederich of Saxony who became king and was renamed Augustus II. And the union between the Commonwealth and Saxony was consolidated. Augustus hoped to recover some territory and prestige after the outbreak of the Great Northern War, but a Warsaw Confederation was formed to counter Augustus' interests. The Swedish king, the brilliant, young, and energetic Charles XII, invaded the Commonwealth and defeated Augustus II's combined force of Poland and Saxony at the battles of Kluslo in 1702 and Pultusk in 1703. Charles then forced Augustus to renounce his throne and have the Sejm or Polish Parliament stand as wall on the throne in 1704. Augustus regained the throne in 1709, but his death in 1733 during the War of the Polish Succession of 1733-38 encouraged France to put their own king on the throne. Embarrassing episodes such as this, the Dumb Sejm of 1717, and the Pacification Sejm, which led to Augustus III being king of the Commonwealth after the conclusion of the Polish Succession War, led to the three partitions of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth by Russia, Austria, and Prussia in 1772, 1793, and 1795, and the disappearance of Poland for the next 125 years. Long live strong, sacred Poland.